We'll now hear from Battalion Chief Jaime Reyes with Plano Fire Rescue, and he's going to talk about the importance of registering automatic external defibrillators, AEDs, and how it has been made easier. So thank you very much, Chief Reyes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning. My name is Jaime Reyes. I'm a battalion chief here with Plano Fire Rescue, and I'm currently assigned as the EMS chief, which means that basically I'm responsible for everything related to emergency medical services. So this morning I'm going to speak to you about automated external defibrillators, AEDs, and the importance of registering those devices. So before we get started, a quick video here.
Hi, my name is Julie Kim, and in 2018 I had a cardiac arrest here at Plano Senior High School in Plano, Texas. I lead an ordinary.
Hi, my name is Julie Kim, and in 2018 I had a cardiac arrest here at Plano Senior High School in Plano, Texas. I lead an ordinary life. I'm a wife and a mom to 2 kids, and I lead a healthy lifestyle. However, in 2018, with absolutely no indication or warnings, the electrical system of my heart stopped working correctly, and I went into full cardiac arrest. Luckily, within the first 40 seconds, I was getting chest compressions, and within 2 minutes, I received the first of 2 shocks from an AED. The quick actions of the people around me and that AED are why I am alive today. According to the American Heart Association, an average of 1 cardiovascular disease death occurs every 38 seconds. The odds of survival are reduced by approximately 10% for each minute defibrillation is delayed. That's why it's important to know where the nearest automated external defibrillator, or AED, is located at all times. Knowing where the nearest AED is located can potentially save lives, perhaps even your own. Although there are many public AEDs, often they are not registered. By not registering an AED, a 911 dispatcher will be unable to guide the caller to the nearest one, which can result in an unnecessary loss of life. Texas state law requires that all AEDs be registered with local emergency service providers so they can be easily searchable by dispatchers and apps such as PulsePoint. The City of Plano has now made it easier to register AEDs with just 4 easy steps. Step 1. Go to plano.gov/AED. Step 2. Provide the name of your company or organization and the name of the person submitting the request. Step 3. Provide the address of the location of the AED along with some details on where it can be found. For example, 2nd floor break room in suite 220. Step 4. Click Submit. Even if you're unsure an AED is registered, you can always submit a request to ensure that it is. Once you've submitted the AED registration form, someone from the fire department will come out to inspect the AED to ensure the location information is correct. By taking 1 minute to register an AED, you could potentially save the life of your friend, your family member, your coworker, or even your own life. Go to plano.gov/AED to register one
pretty
today.
Powerful information there in that video, and another reason why it's important to register, like the video stated, state law requires it. That information is forwarded to our Public Safety Communications 911 Center. So when you call, even though you may not know exactly where that AED is located, when you tell them your location, for example, if you were told them that you were here at the Haggard Library, they would know that it's behind the information desk. So then you could either direct somebody to go get that AED or get it yourself if somebody else was already providing CPR. This is what the form looks like. You saw it on the video. And thanks to Todd, and we really appreciate the work they did on helping us with this form. It's really made it easy. You saw the web address. You can also find that through the if you go to the Plano Fire Department homepage. It's right there on the first page. Scroll down towards the bottom, and you'll see a link that you can fill this information out. When you submit that information, it goes to myself, also the EMS captain, and also to Public Safety Communications, our 911 center. One of the things that we do is when we go out to inspect it, we also upload that into the PulsePoint app. So you might be asking, what is the PulsePoint app? So let me tell you first. I realize it's Friday, it's the weekend, we're kind of winding things down. If there's one thing that you guys accomplished today, I would ask that you go to PulsePoint, download the app. You can find it at the App Store, or if you're an Android user, wherever Android users get their stuff. So But when you download the Pulse Point app, essentially there's two pieces of that. When you download that app, it's going to ask you, are you trained in CPR? Are you willing to provide CPR? When you click yes, then you kind of become an extension of us, so to speak. Whenever our 911 center dispatches units, the fire engine, the ambulance, when they dispatch that, at the same time, that notification goes out on Pulse Point to someone that has said they are willing to provide CPR. Two things. One, you have to be nearby, within a quarter mile, and it has to be a public location. We'll never direct you to a private residence, a house, anything like that. You get that notification, and let's say, for example, if I got it here and it said, CPR needed at Haggard Library. Well, I'm here, so you start looking around, you find the person that needs CPR, and you can either start CPR on them, or if CPR is already underway, then you could locate the nearest AED, which that's the second part of the Pulse Point app. It directs you to the closest AED. That's why it's important to have these things registered. So really, I mean, we saw an example of how AED saved a life right here in Plano. It does happen, and you guys here can clearly make a difference. So I would ask that, again, download the Pulse Point app, and please do what you can to get your AEDs registered. It's very important. So with that being said, are there any questions about AEDs? Yes, sir.
I have an AED that's registered under Pulse Point. Does that cover me for the other registration, or do I have to do both?
Okay, that's a good question. We would prefer that you go ahead and do both. So yeah, definitely go to the website. That way we know about it. We can go and verify the location. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the cost of an AED nowadays?
Okay, so he's asking what the cost of an AED is nowadays. They aren't cheap, but they're worth it. So that's kind of a ride in the fence answer. Sorry about that. I don't want to misspeak, so I think they're around a couple $1,000. $1,200. Okay, even better. So. Okay, so the question is, do you need a doctor's order to get one? Used to, you had to have a prescription from a physician to have one. You don't nowadays. And I will add this. If you are involved in some kind of a group, like let's say a Boy Scout group or something like that, and you'd like to have an AED, you can visit a nonprofit. It's called Living for Zachary, and they actually have programs that can help you to obtain an AED for your organization. Any other questions on AEDs? How often do you have to change the pads? It'll actually say on the package of the pads, generally we do ours every 2 years. So batteries and pads is something that you do want to inspect. Good question. All right. Anything else? Great. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for that presentation, Battalion Chief Reyes. You know, a very important matter where seconds could be the difference between life and death, so thank you. Next, we'll hear from Captain Peggy Harrell of Plano Fire Rescue, and she's going to talk about ways that adults can keep their kids safe at the pools this summer. So thank you, Captain Harrell.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here to talk about a very proactive program that Plano Fire Rescue has been doing for almost 20 years to battle a very sad occurrence. It's our Water Watcher program. This graphic is one I really don't like. If you can notice the darker states there, Texas and Florida currently, and this 2019 stats are almost exactly the same, lead the country in child fatalities through drowning for children younger than 15 years old. This is a stat Texas should not be proud of. I'm sorry if the slide is a little light there, but if you'll notice the progression of child fatalities through drowning in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, if you can see toward probably the top middle of the slide is Collin County. This is 2014. You're going to see quite a progression here. And then 2018. we're believing right now that a lot of those in the northern part of Collin County are due to homes, the great growth in homes around Salina and Prosper, that builders are building and selling with pools already in the backyard. Families are buying homes that with pools that have never experienced having a pool before and aren't aware of the dangers of having a backyard pool with young children. So a few very sad drowning statistics. 65% of children who drown do so while an adult is nearby. 40% of children who drown do so after accidentally falling into the pool while not swimming. Perhaps the swim time is over, everybody's gone back into the house to clean up, make dinner, have an evening, and the child is drawn back to the pool for some reason. Children can get through doors, doggy doors, that sort of thing. Almost 40% of children who drown were swimming in a new environment. Perhaps they were at the neighborhood pool once they moved into the neighborhood. They were at a pool party at a pool they weren't familiar with, or perhaps spending time out on a lake or an event, something like that. And then 15% of children who drown do so in the winter months. And sadly, the outcomes of those drownings tend to be more fatal. And just to remind you, drowning is a term that it's considered a drowning even if the child is submerged and then is transported to the hospital. We used to use the term near drowning. So when I use drowning in that last situation, the last stat, the worst outcomes means being transported to the hospital and then becoming a fatality. So Plano's been passing out, I think everybody has one in front of them, our Water Watcher tags for almost 20 years now. And we give them out to any family, any individual that spends time near the water with their children, pools, lakes, whatever. We don't pass them out to children. They only go to adults, and they only go to adults when we're able to explain what the importance of the tag is. When you look at these statistics and you look at the individual drownings and you peel back the layers, 99% of the time there was a lapse in supervision. There's a huge difference between having adults present when kids are around the water or in the water and supervising the children in or near the water. We tell people all the time, please, if you have your kids in or near the water, do not text. Do not get on any sort of device. Don't sit and read a magazine. Don't even chat with a friend that'll take your eyes off of the water. So the Water Watcher tag is a tangible device that the adult who is supervising the children can hold on to, wear, we don't really care, while they have eyes on the water. If they need to leave to take a text, use the restroom, get something to drink, their responsibility is to pass it off to another adult who is then going to act as the water watcher and keep eyes on the water. Sadly, drowning is not like what you see on TV. It's not loud, it's not splashy. It's quick and it's quiet. And it happens very quickly with adults within feet. So, last year, a wonderful Girl Scout troop in Plano reached out to us and wanted to work on their Bronze Award. And they asked what we needed. And I said, it's summertime, how about a video about our Water Watcher tags? So this young troop got together. They did all of this except for the camera work by Plano Television. But they did a great job on this, wrote the script, produced it. So I'm proud to show you our video on our Water Watcher tag program.
While children are in or near the water, the adult is supposed to act as the water watcher and watch the children in the water. That adult must know how to swim and do CPR.
That adult is not supposed to drink alcohol while they are the water watcher. That adult is supposed to stay off their devices and watch the children that are actually in the water.
And most importantly, that adult does not leave without turning over the duties to another water watcher.
When children are near the water, it's important that an adult acts as the water watcher and has eyes on the water and children continually. When a child drowns, it's not loud and splashy. It is quiet and can happen in seconds. To get a water watcher tag, please contact the Plano Fire Rescue at 972-941-7421 or email peggyha@plano.gov.
Sorry about that. I think a little bit of the video was cut off at the beginning because it shows the sister sitting out and she's got earbuds in and is on her phone, and then you scan to the moms and they're looking over a cookbook and not paying attention to the kids in the pool either, and then it pans to the dad asleep, and if you'll notice, he was reading a Parks and Rec magazine. Shameless product placement in that video, yes. So any questions about our Water Watcher tag? I'm sorry it was sad and a little bit depressing, but it is a good program, and we're happy to send you as many as you'd like.
Captain Harrell, I have a question for the folks in the room and that you can also answer. How many of your communities have a community pool as well? Because my HOA does. All right, Captain Harrell, can you talk about how maybe community groups, HOAs can implement the Water Watcher Tag program in their community, and maybe some of the site visits that you do to do additional training and talks for HOAs?
Actually, yes. Thank you. We'll give you as many Water Watcher tags as you'd like. We encourage you to hang them where you come into the pool area. Encourage your residents, your neighborhood to use them. If one walks off, great, we'll give you another. We're hoping that if it walks off, it's going to somebody that has a pool and they want it for their own home. And we are happy to also come out and teach CPR at no cost. Plano Fire Rescue offers a hands-only awareness class, only no certification, CPR class, and AED training for anybody that's interested. We have mannequins, they travel, they will come to you. Yes, sir.
Along that same line, Peggy, we've tried to implement this at our HOA pool, and it seems like we need some kind of a sign or a poster or something to hang the tag on, remind people about this. Is it possible that some program might be worked out to produce something like that that could be used at community pools that are not city-owned?
Thank you for the question. Did everybody hear it about a signage at as you enter the pool? We're actually working on a program right now to do exactly that with hotel pools and apartment complex pools. So I do not see why it's not something that could be expanded to neighborhood pools as well. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
HOA, we had a family move in, renters, and they put up a pool probably 3 foot, had little kids, but they put it kind of between houses in the front. And then they sit out there in their little lawn chairs and watch. But then when they leave, the pool is still there full. Is that something we would call you about?
I'm sorry, Mr. Israelson.
We'll be happy to address that. Mortgage Force is here in our health department, so if you'll get with us afterwards, we'll assign that to the appropriate department and take a look. Absolutely.
Thank you. And we have extras. I know everybody got one, but I did bring extras today if anybody would like any more. Thank you.